Hi, my name is Noel Davis with Vermicompost, and here's our week 31 bin update. And last time we didn't add any food to it, so we're going to see how it's doing this time and see if it needs anything else or if we should let it sit a little longer. But it's definitely a very well-established bin now, so let's take a look. Alright, so here's our bin. Let's see here. Alright, good amount of moisture on the top. It's a little bit wet. Actually, a bunch of worms here on the top too. It looks like it might be maybe a little bit too wet inside, but we'll take a look here. All right, so let's take a look at the top. First off, there is not many worms on the top here, but there's a few up here on the top actually, and a little bit over in this area. I'm not sure you can see that. Some over here in the bin, but burlap is still here. Actually, digging this up, this burlap, there's a lot of worms in here. It feels very moist, but this bin is definitely doing very well right now. I think the little white specks you see on here, those are probably crushed up eggshells if I had to guess. There's actually a worm cocoon right here that I can see, but I'm not seeing any bugs or anything, which is a good sign. Lots of worms here. I mean, there's more worms on the top, so they're definitely all throughout this bin. More worms. So, oh, here's a banana peel, so that's why they're over here. So we're still working on some of the fruit in here. It feels kind of a little bit maybe overly moist, but it's not bad. It's not like it's soaking wet where it'd probably be have dead zones where there's no oxygen. But lots of worms throughout here. This is actually looking really well. The material's very well processed. Let's see if we can dig down here a little bit. More worms. As you can tell, there's more in here. No bad smells, but it's a little bit compact at the bottom here. So I'm just going to dig this up a little bit here. Oh, a ton of worms over here. This is where there's still banana peels left in here, surprisingly. And look at this. These are right here. These were some, I'm guessing some rinds of some sort that were in here. Maybe from I think I threw a melon in here at some point. So those are still there. There's actually worms all the way down here at the bottom even, which is a very good sign. There's still fruit in here though. I mean, there's still banana peels, which I'm really surprised about. Normally they like banana peels, but there's a lot of worms. I don't know if you can see in here very well, but there's a ton of worms in here. Let's just zoom in a little bit here. I mean, there's just a lot of worms in here. They're all throughout the bin. It's not like they're in one little section and that's it. This is actually a very healthy worm bin right now. I'm going to bury this back in here, so that way we don't get any fruit flies finding those banana peels. We're going to zoom back out a little bit here. We're going to take a look at this side now. So I'm switching the bin around, and now we're going to take a look at this side. Again, lots of worms. Oh, actually, there's a piece of banana peel right there. Yeah, worms throughout this entire bin. This bin's being worked through very well. There's actually, right now I'm seeing a couple little baby worms that are kind of translucent. They're small. So a lot of worms in here, a lot of worm growth. I mean, look at this. You can still see worms that are coming up. There's worms all over the top over here that you can see. Again, we're going to dig down on this side again too. Again, more worms down here. I mean, this is actually very well established now. Even the corners, which I've found a lot of times have either too much moisture or are usually not the best, or actually are pretty good in here. So there's still worms even down in this area. A little bit compacted, but not too bad. I mean, this is a really high quality bin now. I mean, it's really working well. I mean, you can just see there's worms all throughout here still, all through the levels, different levels of the bin. We're going to throw in, I think, some more food here. We're going to throw in some strawberries and banana peels. Just throw in a couple of those. We go through a lot of bananas in my house, if you can't tell. I throw in a lot of bananas. Throw in maybe some broccoli here. None of this is really cut up really small, but some asparagus and some melon. So this is all frozen. I just throw it right in the bin frozen. I'll let it thaw in the bin. We'll throw that banana peel in too. So another huge spot for food. I freeze everything, by the way. I know I've mentioned this before, but I'm going to mention it again. I freeze everything so that way there are no bug eggs on it. So there's no eggs that can be on there, really. So then I'm going to bury it in here. Dig this up a little bit more, maybe, and put a little bit extra on this side since that was kind of tall. But there we go. I mean, this bin is looking really, really good. The compost looks really good in here. You can tell that actually I might need to add more cardboard unless I'm going to sort this out. I might need to add more because you could tell the cardboard is really starting to get composted as well, and a lot of it has disappeared. You can still see some of it, but it's most of it has been consumed by the worms in the bin, and I think it might be time to maybe harvest this maybe in a few weeks. So maybe this might be our last feeding for this, and I think we're going to kind of empty this out. We're going to see how many worms are in here, and I'll show you that process as well. So that's it for the update this week. Let me get a couple of these guys off this bin lid here. Put them back in towards the middle so I don't crush them. But that's it for this week, and this bin is still looking really good, though. So I hope your bins are doing just as well if you're doing a bin right now, but that's our update for week 31. Thank you.